I do believe this is going to be the final teaser that is going to drop before the big interview in all of its glory, and I can't wait for it. Is going to drop here today. It's about an 8-minute long clip, so I don't know how long this video is going to be, probably 20-30 minutes by the end of the nonsense that we have to wade through on this one. It all just depends on how much dumb stuff Amber Heard says, and in the previous couple of days, it's been a chock full of nonsense. So we'll see how this plays out anyways, and I can't wait. I cannot wait to break down this entire interview in full for Saturday, okay? It'll be the third video of the day that'll come out on Saturday, so if you're looking forward to that as much as I'm looking forward to doing the reaction to it, you can just, time your watches for there. I'll find an appropriate copy and go to town on that, but I don't really know much about what is supposed to be included outside of just the title of this article from today that links to the video as well. Just very little stuff as opposed to what we knew with the publicity heading into the first couple of stuff, right? With Amber Heard calling all the randos, including Kate Moss, which still baffles and boggles the mind, okay? That was the big takeaway from Monday, and then from Tuesday, yesterday, the man who literally has scissors for fingers. Great, wonderful, fantastic. That'll really get you a whole bunch of sympathy from the people that are out there. But as for today, I don't know. I've seen a couple of clickbaity thumbnails, which, hey, no shade on those folks, okay? They're doing the Lord's work that are out here, breaking down the stuff, keeping her lies and all of the nonsense in the zeitgeist. If Amber Heard's not going to take a step back from this stuff, nobody should, okay? She wants to try to rewrite the narrative in real time. We have every single right to start pushing back against it, okay? But again, I'm also seeing, like I said, those clickbaity thumbnails, okay, seeing a couple of things which we'll probably get to in some form or fashion here, and we'll break that down, okay? But then also, oh, well, Savannah Guthrie fights back, and I listened to a couple of different people's takes on these past couple of interviews as well, okay, and they're saying that Savannah Guthrie's doing a decent job, or even she's doing a good job in some cases, okay. I've just, we've been watching this stuff, going back and forth on it, and yeah, no, she's doing fine, but her follow-up questions don't pin down Amber Heard. It was just like the middle rounds, right? The beginning of the second day of cross-examination on Amber Heard, where Camille wasn't quite as poignant as she was on the first couple of hours there, right at the tail end of her direct examination, and then definitely right after lunch, where she started to get far more aggressive and started to put Amber Heard into a corner, because she has a wonderful way of twisting the English language to just leave things open-ended. And so far, and like I said, the full interview's coming out on Friday evening, okay? And there are chainsaw rough cuts to these little teasers that have been put out there, so of course, we don't know how all of this stuff is going to play out. I highly doubt that these little clips are coming out sequentially across the interview proper. I'd imagine this is probably just little bits and pieces, pick and choosing what exactly we're getting from that interview, and it's just put up in the most sensationalist way, okay, to try to generate hype, which, congratulations, you did it, NBC. You're cashing in on the clicks right now, and God bless, you managed to stomach an audience with Amber for however long this took. I don't know how long the interview is going to be. Dateline's, what, an hour-long show, so who knows how long the interview is going to be proper, so. But to say that Savannah Guthrie's done a good job, oh, well, she wouldn't let her off the hook with some of those questions. Like she said, hey, the First Amendment, it doesn't cover lying, but then she allowed Amber to continue on with her narrative that, yes, I know I told the truth at all times, and I lived in a bad situation with, there was just so much violence around all the time. Okay, and some people are picking up on that as like, why do you continue to make these defamatory statements? Johnny's he's gonna come in and he has grounds to sue you again for defamation. Nah, she's just keeping it purposefully obtuse, and the fact is, okay, before recording this, I went to just see if anybody from Camp Depp has made a statement on any of these little trickle feed interview bits that have come out so far. Nah, they're just all moving on with the rest of their life, okay? Literally nobody from Johnny Depp's side, okay? The one side that Amber Heard consistently says, just won't leave me alone. I just want to be left alone, so please let me get this national spotlight one last time. And people are also saying that this is going to be a career killer. Okay, I've seen articles in New York Post and a couple of other commentators have speculated on that as well, that, oh, this is going to be the end of her career. Just like with every single relationship, this is what she does. She doesn't let a problem rest. She is just going to fight this, and she's just going to plow ahead. And this is probably going to be the biggest outlet that she's going to have to be able to spin her little tail on. And then eventually she's going to start doing lesser and lesser high profile interviews out there, but she's going to be persistent, okay? She's going to be rewriting the narrative to a point where it's just going to be Amber out on the stump day after day, week after week, okay? She's going to have these same interviews from more sympathetic outlets, and they're going to be able to rewrite the story, because after a while, people are going to be moving on. There's going to be new cases. There's going to be new shiny little trinkets thrown into the road for people to chase after, and it'll give them attention for the time being. But all of this stuff is, of course, on the back of that very high-profile trial, okay? So most of the stuff is still fresh in people's mind, but after a while, that's going to fade, but Amber is still going to persist with her nonsensical lies, okay? So, is her career over? Maybe in Hollywood. I don't know. Again, resurfacing. Oh my god, she's been cut out of Aquaman 2. You gotta believe us this time. It's like, I'll believe it when I see it. Actually, I won't, because I ain't watching that fucking pile of shit. But yeah, I think that's enough pre-ramble. I can't believe it went on for that long, but that's just a little primer. I don't know what the fuck to expect on here, but expect a bunch of lies, a bunch of misdirection, and let's see if Savannah actually has some follow-ups and tries to pin her down a bit. Otherwise, is it just going to be those same, oh my god, El Raj, you really pinned her down with those audio clips. You didn't ask the follow-up questions. So what are we supposed to believe? Amber Heard 2022 or Amber Heard 2015, Amber Heard 2016? Okay, what are we supposed to take from those audio clips? Those are the follow-up questions that you should have had, okay? And then you should pin her down on the lying. And if you don't do that, then it just looks like, oh my god, you're being very fair and balanced about this. No, you're not. You're just fucking softballing an interview. Okay, I've seen Savannah Guthrie go hard in interviews before. During the presidential election, after Trump caught the coof, okay, he had a sit-down interview with Savannah Guthrie. You want to see somebody going in on a target in an interview? It was sort of an interview setting, right? Because it was a town hall type interaction with a bunch of people. And she was just supposed to be the moderator accepting questions, but she was pressing Trump hard and she had follow-up questions. I did an entire breakdown. There's clips included that show her just absolutely going off. So that's back on the channel. Well, I guess that would have been back in, what, October of 2020? So it's been a minute, and your boy don't forget. So I've seen her at her most fierce. I was going to say best, and I don't really know what her best is because she works for mass media. I don't watch this fucking nonsense outside of these hilarious interviews. So without further ado, let's get at it, folks.
There's a text message where Johnny promises total global humiliation for you. Do you feel like that came true?
Wow, that didn't take very long. Yeah, so what was that? That was just the big text, okay? The only one that Johnny copped to, because that was brought up on rebuttal, alongside some other text messages that looked like they were incoming to his device that he willingly gave over and didn't make a big fuss about, obfuscating metadata or anything like that. But it was the big one where he called her, was that a floppy fish market? Oh, it was delicious. Or had a whole bunch of other flowery language. You know what? I'm going to find it and I'm going to read it out because it's so fucking good. Oh, right. Called her a cum guzzler. I remember now. Okay, anyways. So yeah, here was the text that he sent to, I think this was Stephen Duders or something like that. I can't even remember. It's not really important. This was written by Johnny, okay, right after, I think it says from 2016 here. So I think this was probably after the TRO and all that kind of fun stuff, but whatever. This is what the text message read. This was written and copped to and verified by Johnny Depp. So this is actually his words and not some sort of spinning of the facts, okay? Begging for total global humiliation. She's gonna get it. I have no mercy, no fear. and an ounce of emotion, or what I once thought was love for this gold-digging, low-level, dime-a-dozen mushy, pointless, dangling, overused, flappy fish market. What a fucking linguist, my guy. I'm so fucking happy she wants to fight this out. She will hit the wall hard. Once again, no lies detected. But again, you might think she's 36 years old. Outside of just weird little expressions she puts on her face, she's still a decent 36-year-old, okay? A Californian 6, but you put her in the Midwest, she's probably still 7.5, 8. Let's be completely honest, guys. You'd still fuck her in the trunk of a Honda Civic, okay? Let's be completely honest, alright? But maybe not now, knowing what you know about her, but even still, okay? She's an attractive lady, okay? And Amber Heard of 2012, 2013 was a bad bitch about the time that he wrote the text, right? Maybe not if it's a flappy fish market, but it does continue. I'm so happy she wants to fight the... Oh, right, already read that, sorry. And I cannot wait to have this waste of a cum guzzler out of my life. I'd imagine that was probably about all she was really good for, because let's be completely honest, he was trying to give her good fucking life advice. And some of those audio recordings you heard, and it's like, oh, Johnny with being so controlling and abusive, telling you to not fucking put your tits out on every single fucking film that you do, okay? Dress respectively. That just sounds like good life and career advice, but no, he was being controlling, telling me what to do. Now take a look at all the roles that you get in Hollywood, okay? It's like, okay, you can get your tits out, but we got this new girl who's, you know, just as blonde, just the same height and all that stuff, but she's literally half your age. So, yeah, what exactly do you bring to the screen that she doesn't? Oh, an extra 18 years of fucking baggage and personality that you could only find in the box aisle wine of the Piggly Wiggly. It's like, if you had a likable personality, if people on set had a generally warm reception or a generally decent opinion of you, you'd be getting work still right now, okay? Because you're really pushing hard on the whole, I was telling my truth right now, okay? So people would still be sympathetic to that. There's a simp born every day, and there's a white knight coming over every fucking hill. Don't you even think that that wouldn't be the case right now? But you're so fucking toxic, and you're doubling down on everything, where it's going to be difficult, okay, to get further acting roles. But if you're going to be a professional gaslighter and a professional activist on this, God bless, sweetie, because you're going to have a lot of fucking work ahead of you. So I don't think her career's over by this. I don't think it hurts her, because it's not anything we didn't hear over the previous 7 weeks of a trial. So anyways, this is about the text message, global humiliation. Johnny Depp did this all to you, right? Bitch, can you cry once, okay? One fucking tear. Instead of just look like you're zannied out of your mind. Like, for fuck's sakes, what was the big dramatic... you know, I'm really thinking about this, and in my thespian brain, I'm rattling around with the different emotions that I'm trying to experience right now. But I'll just rest on general apathy. Fucking bitch. She's the gift that keeps on giving.
I know he promised it. I testified to this. I'm not a good victim, I get it. I'm not a likable victim. I'm not a perfect victim.
All right, stop, perfect. Nope, that's wonderful. That is the funniest fucking thing that she's ever said. Okay, I know she's done a lot of action films, a lot of dramas and stuff. You should try comedy, though, because that was unintentionally fucking hilarious. I know I'm not likable. I know I'm not perfect. I know you prefaced it all with victimhood and all that shit, but I thought you didn't like to be called a victim or anything like that. That's funny and stuff. It's only when you're referring to yourself, and I testified to all that stuff, and this has just been so difficult for me, as opposed to when you were drugged through glass and raped with a whiskey bottle. Okay, cool. But again, you know, it's hard to keep all of your lies together. What a sad-looking lady. This is so terrible for her. Do we know what she's been through? Let's see if she does.
But when I testified, I asked the jury to just see me.
Well, they did, sweetheart, and that's why you got the verdict that you did.
As human, and hear his own words, which is a promise to do this. It feels as though he has.
Amber Heard
So, okay, you're not a perfect victim. Okay, you are not likable. You can probably work on that one. Okay, it doesn't really matter if you're perfect. Johnny copped to all of his imperfections as well. So, if you were just had a modicum of credibility and just a little bit of humility, you might have been victorious. This could have been a cut and dry case, open and shut. Okay, stick to the strict elements of defamation, you would have been victorious. But you wanted to make this all about you blithering narcissist. So,
reflecting on the ripple effects of her tumultuous trial with Johnny Depp.
Having been found liable, are you nervous as we are here today about what you can say now?
okay, I left in that little bit unintentionally. I thought I was going to cut it out, but it was like, just context and shit. But anyways, just asking her, it's like, are you nervous about what you can say going forward? Because there is right now in law, okay, even though the judgment hasn't been, it's been finalized, it's been read and all that stuff, but it hasn't been entered yet. That's just the final step. It's just formalities, right? They're more like, yeah, a pledge for finalities, okay, if we're going to be speaking the same language here. But asking if she knows that there are defamatory things that are now in law that you can't necessarily repeat without finding yourself liable, even though I don't think Johnny Depp will ever sue her again or even, want to talk about her, bring up her name ever again, because he is still radio silent on all of this stuff. Everybody else on that side of the aisle is fucking moved on, except for her. But yeah, no, knowing that she can't say certain things because they are in fact defamatory, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Let's just smile and laugh a little bit. This bitch is nuts as hell.
Of course, I took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak.
Do you feel like you could be sued again by him for defamation?
This bitch would want nothing more than to get more attention from Johnny Depp, because that's the only thing that she's after, okay? There's a term that's out there, okay? And thanks to some of the evidence that came out in this case, I might be a little bit more inclined to fully agree with this, but it's good enough for right now, okay? Because we've seen the dating history of Amber Heard, okay? Johnny Depp was the one that left the biggest impression on Amber Heard, and she is still trying to recapture all of that magic that is there. Amber Heard was alpha widowed by Johnny Depp. As much as he is, I don't know, maybe he's been kind of woken up by this situation a bit, and the fact that he stayed in that relationship for so long, maybe that was the impetus to just kind of break out of that shit. So at the time, no, he was definitely not exhibiting the traits of being an alpha male. But again, that's kind of a nebulous term anyways, and don't nail me down on that for the fact that, oh, he's an alpha and beta male. No, that has nothing to do with it, okay? He was employing old order tactics by just trying to be the provider for the relationship, and she was taking advantage of it, and you're just supposed to suffer in silence. But the fact that he broke that up, okay, by filing these lawsuits and then finally getting retribution and just fucking moving on, and then also, you know what, with the statement that you will never see my eyes again, that's definitely big points in the whole, yeah, this dude is waking up to the improprieties that are going on right now. So that right there is got to be a little bit big ups, but that doesn't diminish the fact that Johnny Depp is still the most important partner that Amber Heard has ever had. Yeah, sure, she's had richer characters in her life, but it's Elon Musk, and we all know about his lifestyle. The motherfucker doesn't own a house, okay? They were couch surfing. This was all first-hand account from Grimes, who's trying to make herself into an alien, because maybe Elon Musk was her most important relationship, because maybe she just wants to be perceived as an alien, so that maybe he gets a little bit reminiscent about that because of his space exploration habits. So maybe something like that. But even still, Elon Musk was more concerned with a little electric cars and going off planet than dealing with the nonsense of Amber Heard. That's why that relationship lasted for a couple of months. And really, after you fuck around in a three-way with a bitch that you're seeing and somebody else that's equally as fucked up, where do you really go from there? Okay, gentlemen, if you're going to be doing three-ways, never do it with the person that you're in a committed relationship with. You're only inviting trouble to randoms, okay? But no, long and short of the previous comment from Amber Heard, she just wants the attention from Johnny Depp. She wants nothing more, okay, than to just be in his presence one more time.
I'm scared that no matter what I do, no matter what I say or how I say it, every step that I take.
Every move that you make, every smile that you fake, you hope that Johnny will be watching you. Did you also notice, okay, because they got the side angle and stuff, and I was just kind of mimicking it as well because it's kind of hilarious because she can't uncontradict herself. The words that she's speaking don't comport with her body language as well. It's hilarious. It's like, no, I'm so scared. It's tremendous. I just have to be careful of what I say. I thought I had a First Amendment right as an American citizen. You fucking bitch. You do not believe a goddamn word that you say. Or if you do, you're trying real hard to overcome your instinctual behavior. It's a gift to watch.
We'll present another opportunity for this sort of silencing, which is what I guess a defamation lawsuit is meant to do.
It's meant to hold you accountable. Oh yeah, right. Something that you've never had to face before. Until now, get used to it.
To take your voice.
Yeah, I'm just cutting out the little extra bits that they have in the middle there. It's just unimportant. I'll just summarize for everybody. They just went over the fact that, oh yeah, and again, this is why I think that this entire interview is going to be more pro-Heard than anybody's going to give it credit for. They just said, yes, once again, Amber Heard was found to have committed defamation against Johnny Depp in 3 statements, okay? But they didn't even mention Johnny by name. It would be equivalent of me crafting a story about a woman who took care of me for 18 years and would pack my lunches for school. And then, okay, yeah, I didn't mention my mother by name, but at the same time, I wrote a passage at the end where it's like, oh, she beat me and burned me about the face and I have horrific scars. It's about the same veracity of claims that Amber Heard brought in this case as well, but again, you could kind of see why the dude got seduced at the time, because this would have been, what, 2015 or 2016? Not bad. But like from that text message that we read there, the wall was undefeated. Anyways.
Life had seemingly moved on, and you decide to write an op-ed. Why did you do that?
Because the op-ed wasn't a...
Okay, that's a brutal cut. So, okay, you know, why did you decide to write an op-ed? Anyways, she has very poor mic etiquette. Okay, she can't help to just talk over somebody who might be asking a pertinent question. I need to interject with my lies and bullshit, so brace for impact.
About my relationship with Johnny.
But it alluded to him. It was unmistakable.
You know, what the op-ed was about was... you know, me loaning my voice to a bigger cultural conversation that we were having at the time.
Did you...
Okay, yeah, this is an exact example of what I laid out with Guthrie there in the beginning, okay? She has an opportunity to follow up with this stuff and really pin her down, okay? Because she was asking a question, it's like, why did you write that op-ed? Well, and then Amber starts to get into her screed, well, I was just lending it to my voice to a bigger cause. And she's asking, it was unmistakable, unfucking mistakable. The fact that, yes, you were writing this about Johnny Depp. You didn't have to name him. The heavy implication, it was easily interpretable exactly who you were speaking about. So the lack of a name doesn't hold water. Okay, it makes zero difference as to the contents that were there, and you were making some wild allegations about sexual abuse and domestic abuse, and you didn't prove any of that stuff out. You said specifically, I suffered these things, and then I decided to speak out against that because I didn't get my intended consequences of a man having his life ruined. I just needed to go that extra step further. So let's see. Okay, she's got Amber on the ropes right now. Is she gonna just walk away, or is she gonna lay in some more body shots before she goes in for the big fucking left hook? We're gonna have to figure that out.
Worry? Gosh, I'd love to be a person weighing in on these cultural issues, but that's gonna stir this all up again.
I obviously knew it was important for me not to make it.
Okay, decent follow-up. It's like, okay, cool. You didn't have to make those specific claims. If you just wanted to be an activist for a cause, why did you make it so specific about you? Okay, why would you do that?
It about him, or to do anything like defame him. I had lawyers, teams of lawyers, review all the drafts of this.
Some of those other drafts that specifically said you need to make this about Johnny Depp, and even some of the previous drafts also had Johnny Depp named specifically. His name were in some of the drafts that were there, thanks to the ACLU's testimony. Okay, I forget his name there, the little goofy little lead counsel whose video deposition got played. But yeah, no, again, this is Amber Heard throwing other people under the bus. Well, I had lawyers go over it, so I don't know why I'm getting held responsible for this. I just delegated that responsibility. Listen, I want to take one more shot at Johnny Depp. How can we do this? Okay, because we got the ACLU and Washington Post, not exactly B tier or even C tier level organizations here, wanting to give me a little bit of a boost on the back of the fact that, yes, my highest profile gig is about to drop. Okay, Aquaman 1 was going to drop within the next week or so anyway. So yeah, okay, that movie was going to be a success, but somebody wasn't quite on all of the posters, so they needed a little boost in order to bring people to the cinema. Okay, bring the activist crowd there to just cheer on Amber Heard, right? So yeah, here she is again. What, accountability? Whoosh, out of the way. See how Savannah, it looks like she's loading up for something. It's either that or she's got a sneeze.
When you wrote this op-ed, it was the height of Me Too. Legions of powerful men being canceled, losing their jobs.
And that's still happening to this very fucking day. And that's why half of the Me Too crowd is still just trying to bring in Amber Heard back into the fold. And it's like, yes, we do in fact have to believe all women because she's telling her truth. Ugh. But then at the same time, there's also the group, depending on how this interview is going to be received and how well her post-judgment career goes, if she becomes a successful activist that she wants to be the Jussie Smollett or the Colin Kaepernick of domestic violence, if she's going to go ahead and continue to do that, okay, are you just going to put her in a little box and be like, yes, believe all women except for Amber Heard? I kind of doubt that. I think they'll just accept her back into the fold, but let's just not downplay the fact that, oh yes, there were a lot of powerful men that were taken down by Me Too. That is correct. There were a lot of powerful men taken down by uncredible, unverifiable, mere words. That should just go to show you that how powerful are these men if some fucking unproven statements can just take them down. I don't know, riddle me that.
Did you want that to happen to Johnny Depp?
Yes, because I tipped off TMZ in 2016 to a bruise that I painted on my face. I told them which way I was going to tilt my head so you could get the best exposure to it. And then I also had you bring a whole bunch of other paparazzi. So then when I left through the public exit to the Los Angeles Police Department, there would be plenty of people there, okay? Because that didn't work, and because he continued to get work for a little while after that, I just had to really, really drive in that final stake into the coffin. So well, that's just my interpretation of the facts and all that stuff. Let's just see what Amber has to tell with her version of reality.
Of course not. Of course not. It wasn't about him.
Yes, it was. We were there for the testimony, but you continued to tell yourself that. Just like at the same time, there's a mountain of evidence. I won the case in the UK, and everybody's a liar except for me. Those are Amber Heard talking points 101. Yo, they got a picture here from the just in between there. They're just laying out the case a little bit more. It's just inconsequential shit. Okay, I'll link to it obviously if you want to watch all, I think like 8 minutes or some shit like that. But anyways, that was the bruise from when a phone was thrown in my face, and that was the last time 6 days after Johnny had been around. Okay, but that was the bruise that was on my face, and that's why he was just beating me. It was one of those days where I didn't have any makeup on, okay, but I'd always have to go out without makeup except for that one instance. Yeah, okay, cool. Again, whatever. You're not wearing makeup, you're not wearing eyeliner, but outside of that, what else are you wearing? Well, I know one place where you're wearing a little bit of makeup. Oh shit, my cursor doesn't show. That's painted on. That's a pimple, and that's about it, because she has really terrible skin. If you see some of the close-up pictures that are out there, that bitch has acne, and I don't know what I gotta check sometime. Somebody's got to do some research on that stuff, how red wine and cocaine affects one's facial complexion. Just wondering, asking for a friend. Okay, so this is specifically about when the police officers came over to take a look for probable cause that there was any domestic violence that was happening in the penthouse right as everything was coming to a head, right before she went to get the domestic violence restraining order. This is the one where she ended up winning on her counterclaim because she brought Josh Drew and Rocky Pennington, and she had her weirdo friend on the phone, but a couple of other people came over and they photographed the area, yes, and made sure that they had a record of it, and might have called the cops a couple of different times in order to just make everything look a little bit too perfect for them, but not, rowdy enough to spark any suspicion from all four of the police officers that turned up, and two of them at different times. But yeah, no, definitely. And again, just another little clip, and if you guys are going to go back and watch the interview itself in full, Guthrie's little voiceover, because she's doing that in the interim, you've seen that in the previous little clip there, but she's also mentioning, right, that, oh yes, and Johnny Depp's lawyers convinced the jury that Amber Heard was lying. No. Amber Heard convinced the world that she was lying. It had nothing to do with Johnny Depp's lawyers. They just exposed her lies for what they were. You should work on that too, Savannah.
A hoax is, according to his team. Why didn't I cooperate with the police? As I've
Because you planned this out, bitch. What the fuck?
testified before, and I will stand by until my dying day. I didn't want to cooperate with them. I didn't want this to be out. I didn't want this to be known. I didn't want to cooperate with them because I didn't want this to be, I didn't want to get him in trouble. If it was a hoax, I could have done that.
But 5 days later, you went to court and it came out.
5 days later.
Yeah, again, all of that is just pre-planned nonsense. Okay, listen, I could have buried him better. Why didn't you do that this time around? Okay, why did your story continue to evolve and change when less people found you even less credible with even more specific evidence? Oh, it's because you were looking to extract as many resources as possible. Why did the divorce happen after you got the news that Johnny Depp's business managers were squirreling away $650 million? What does that all line up? Wonderful. Makes you really think now, doesn't it? But Savannah, once again, we don't have the full context of this interview. She had her on the ropes before, and now she's pressing her maybe a little bit harder with the, yeah, okay, and you waited 5 days to go get the TRO, and yet you still had redness from a bruise from a phone that was being thrown at you. Listen, okay, I dropped a supplement bottle on my foot a couple of weeks ago. I think it was right in honor around the verdict being read or something like that. And I still got a bruise on my foot, okay? There's no redness around it, but there's purple and yellow. And I'd put it on the screen, but you might actually see my balls hanging out of my shorts, and that wouldn't be appropriate. But the redness and swelling of a bruise, and I think everybody has had a bruise at one point or another. I don't think we're all a bubble boy situation here. But the redness goes away very quickly, okay, within about the first day, okay, within the first couple of hours, and then it goes brown, then it goes purple, and blue, then brown, depending on how hard, okay, the contact was, okay. That just looked like a skin irritation, that TMZ picture that you posed for, like you did in the courtroom as well. But yeah, no, let's see if she gets caught in any lies. I doubt it. I gotta press X.
I made the decision to stand up for myself and protect myself. You can't get a restraining order in private, which of course I didn't understand the night when the cops were called.
An employee of...
Yes, you can. Okay, listen. It's not like, okay, you file for a domestic violence restraining order, and it's not like they immediately, fucking ring up the LA Times, you stupid bitch. You file for it. The police officers are made aware of it whenever they go through a scan, okay, if there's any sort of a situation involving you or the person that you're filing the restraining order against. That notification comes up, okay? This isn't back in the day where you have fucking news callers on the corner, okay, with little fucking paper horns just saying,
Amber Heard filed a restraining order, and Johnny Depp is a wife beater. Everybody stay without 100 yards from Johnny Depp. Remember, Captain Jack Sparrow beats his wife.
It's not exactly like that happens anymore, okay? It's a couple of keystrokes on a computer, and that's it. It gets filed, you have your piece of paper, you can go the fuck home, okay? It doesn't get fucking blasted on the newswire, you disingenuous cunt.
TMZ testified at court and said that TMZ was tipped off about when you were going to be going to the courthouse and on what side of your face bruises would be apparent. Did you tip off TMZ?
I was going to say, he certainly didn't get tipped off by me or anyone in my...
you know tip off TMZ?
Why would they? No.
Why would they? I don't know, because you had the guy who rando number 2 on Twitter. I think, yeah, he was the dispatcher for LA, okay? And you can only dispatch people when you get the credible information from people within your team. And you see how quickly she jumped on that, okay? Because she knew that this was going to be a very contentious issue, and she's been very labored in some of her responses, and they couldn't even edit this part out. The fact that she is spurging out at this answer. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Why? Here, I gotta throw the question back at you. No, it didn't come from anybody in my camp. No, absolutely not. Then why did you show up with your publicist? She's a dear friend. Okay, cool. That's great. I thought you had like a best friend that you were photographed with literally the next day, where you didn't have your red bruise, okay? Because that is stage 1 on a bruise, right? But it's also the final form if it's makeup as well. But again, I didn't tip off anybody. No, not me, not certainly me. Why would I do that? Gaslighting 101. I didn't tip off anybody. Maybe you tipped them off. If you're so interested in the tipping, why? Maybe you're the one who did all the tipping. You fucking... whatever.
You ask no one to do that.
As I testified to before, it had nothing to do with me.
There are different incidents that you testified to, and the Depp legal team would put up pictures of...
Oh, God, what situation was this? See, they all just kind of blend together, but this was the one I think where she was face down on a pillow. Nice. But no, she was getting beat about the head. They're all generally the same instances, or at least the description on her behalf, where he has ring bedecked hands, right? Oh, he's only wearing one ring in that instance, but Amber also testified in deposition, but not on the stand. She kind of mitigated her stance on that one. I've never known Johnny to not wear rings. Apparently, yes, with rings on every single finger, right? And I was just getting beat about the head, and was that the one where she was going to get choked and felt like this is the time where he was going to kill me, and he wouldn't even know it. He wouldn't even know when to stop without ever, and just not knowing that he was going to kill me. And that's where he broke the bed, I think, or I dug it out with a pocket knife. Can't quite, keep everything straight. But yeah, no, they put those pictures up there, and it was very damaging to my case because I have a very petite, defined nose, and I apparently thought that I had a broken nose at that time. But yeah, as you can see by the picture there, she's looking good. She's just not looking injured.
You publicly right after that or in the days following.
By the way, that is a great dress. Nice little ass as well, but just another little fucking pointer out there. Never, ever, ever. Okay, you can fuck around with them, but never wife up a chick who has a rib tattoo. Big fucking red flag. It's right up there with the little sticker knacker tattoos that are just all over the body. Rib tattoos, warning sign from the fucking cosmos, okay?
And saying that why are there no bruises?
Again, it's that thing.
Good question. Hope you follow up on it instead of just letting her fucking meander, okay? But do you hear these hard edits? It's impossible to not point out and to not overlook, okay? Because she's asking a question and then it's... I hope they have an unedited version of this somewhere, because it's going to be something like this on Dateline, I would imagine. But there's got to be a much longer cut of this where they're talking over one another. And from some of the reaction shots that they get on Guthrie there, okay, she's kind of holding a strong face, and I can't really get a read on her, but she's nodding along with a lot of the story, kind of leading her on. It's tough to say, right? Because there's some people that it's like, oh, she definitely doesn't believe anything that Amber says. I don't see that, okay? I just see her as being kind of a blank slate in this instance, okay? Some of her questions are just kind of leading her along a path, okay, where they're just trying to tread the fine line of, okay, she's kind of a lying bitch, and then at the same time, yeah, we do kind of believe all women over here at MSNBC, okay, because we did employ Matt Lauer for a long time, and we have enough skeletons in our own closet that we could double as the Democratic voter base. But to say that, yeah, she's just sitting there not believing a word that she says based on her reactions, I don't see that at all whatsoever. She's keeping a very neutral position on this, okay? And again, I'll congratulate her for that. I won't hold that against her, but just the lack of follow-ups, that's what's really got me on this.
If you have bruising, if you have injuries, it's fake. If you don't have any, then you weren't injured.
Correct.
You had promised to donate the $7 million of your divorce settlement to charity.
That's true. I pledged it. I want to see how she weasels her way out of this.
It was revealed at trial that you haven't done so yet. However, they played a tape where you stayed on the air that you have donated it. Do you think that raised questions as to your credibility with the jury?
Yes, because you wouldn't fucking give it up, okay? If you would have just been like, yeah, I haven't been able to. Oh, you had all 13, you had 13 months. You had the entire settlement in your coffers. You could have just paid it off. And it's like, well, I wasn't anticipating getting, sued and all that stuff. And I had it all laid out. But so far, I've just been able to fulfill the pledges that I had out there. I was able to donate as much as I could. And then you could just try to, work around the fact that you had other people pay it for you. And it's like, well, I could have paid on top of that. But my pledges were fulfilled by other generous people as well. And I'm thankful to have those wonderful people in my life as well. And you know what? Hey, once all of these legal problems are done and dusted, I will fulfill my donations. Okay, I pledged and I'm a woman of my word. Ugh. But still, I will get through with those payments. But no, she just waffled back and forth for fucking like 20 minutes on the fact that I use pledge and donation interchangeably. If you would have just fucking moved on from that, it would have just been a footnote in your testimony. But you made it a big sticking point, and yes, it was credibility killing, because you just wouldn't fucking give it up, you stupid bitch. Watch the film, take your L, and fucking move on. The entire point of cross-examination is to get through it, and then let the worthless lawyer, okay, because it was Elaine doing your redirect on that, try to rehabilitate you. If only she could figure out that what if any doesn't make a leading question not leading. But fucking see where Amber goes on this one, because I'd imagine she's got a prepackaged talking point.
I made a pledge, and that pledge is made over time by its nature. And
when you say I donated, you know that everybody thinks that you've donated it, not that you've pledged it. So for the jurors sitting there, do you think they felt like that was you getting caught in a lie?
She actually did follow up and followed up incredibly well. And you could see her eye movement. And it's like, I just got to go in on this bitch. I cannot let this one fucking hang for a moment. Listen, okay, you said that you pledged, but then you also said that you donated. So don't you think a reasonable jury would believe that you're kind of a lying sack of shit? Good on her. They fucking points for her, okay? Now, if only she would have followed up with the rest of the questions that she asked, this would have been a better interview, but I get it. You got to play good cop and bad cop intermittently because you're just one person. And yes, this is a high profile, very well produced interview. So big ups, big ups.
I don't know, because so much of I feel like so
merch, but just listen to the tone of voice that she has now. It's more cutting, it's more direct. She's not looking at Savannah as well, and she's looking down and to the left, which is kind of a universal tell that you're just kind of looking for just literally anything out there in order to try to get your sentence to move across. But anyway, still, no, just listening to the tone of her voice, she is far more aggressive on this one because she knows that she's caught and she's going to have a bitch of a time trying to work her way out of this one. But I feel like she might have an opportunity to.
So much of the trial was meant to cast aspersions on who I am as a human, my credibility, to call me a liar in every way you can. And
that was the trial. It was a...
Oh, horrific cut there. Oh my God. Listen, she found a way to wiggle out of that situation by just saying, well, I know that they were just trying literally anything, but then they were also trying to discredit me and paint me out to being a liar. Pulled the fucking victim card. She was looking for it. She found it. She grabbed it, and now she's going to use it. And hey, then she started to look at Savannah because she knew that she had a sister in arms right there. The sisterhood uber alles, right? Women above all else. It's really tough. But then, hey, guess what? I'm a victim too, and I know that you used to work DV cases, and hey, you're a lawyer as well, so you got to know my pain, right? Oh, this bitch. Accountability.
The credibility contest.
And
that was it.
This is another one of the examples where if you pull back and you think about it, I shouldn't have to have donated it in an effort to be believed. I shouldn't have had to earmark the entirety of that in order to have.
You shouldn't have, but once you.
I hope she goes where I think she's going. Obviously, it's like, oh, I didn't have to do that. And oh my God, now it's getting testy. Now it's getting good because she's got her pinned in the corner. I like this. This is incredibly good questioneering. And she's kind of done with this. I'd imagine this is probably close to the end of the interview anyways. But still, no, pinning her down on the fact that, yeah, no, you said that you were going to donate it. And it's like, well, I didn't have to pledge to donate all of that stuff. And it doesn't really much matter if I do have to pay it after all. And it's like, you said you were going to, and then you reneged on that while at the same time saying that you fulfilled the pledge. So it looks like Savannah's about to hold her accountable for the fact that you just outright lied, dude. So you care to clear that up a little bit? Want to take just try to restore a little bit of your credibility here? Here's a lifeline, but if you're just gonna smack it away, I'm gonna step on your finger so you fall off that bridge that you're hanging yourself off of.
You said you did.
Right, which is where it was intended to go.
Heard says she's still.
I pray that there is an uncut version of this interview, because you know that's a point of a hard transition where they start to just move into these still shots from the trial. Now they'll move on to a final question, and it'll be like the big hard pitch for the Dateline interview, because we're 6 and just about 7 minutes into the 8 minutes, and they always do their little promo bumpers at the end. So let's see how it wraps up.
Plans to honor that pledge.
How do you see your future now?
Selling little snapshots of her life, $5.99 a month at a time, starting with her feet and then working up to ankles and then eventually shitting in beds.
Get to be a mom, like full time, you know, where I'm not having to juggle calls with lawyers.
One day you.
No, I'm sure you'll probably move on to some grift, because eventually you're going to try to get some money away from the sperm donor for whoever was dumb enough to hook you up with the kid. And it's like, again, I wish the best for that kid, but that poor little girl is set up with horrible fucking hurdles ahead of her. Single mother, crazy single mother, and first name of Oolong. Like, Christ almighty, poor little fuck. Oh, just like a sex tape, she's gonna fucking find out.
About everything that you've gone through, what would you want to say?
I think no matter what, it will mean something.
Depending on when you expose your kid to this trial and all that stuff, maybe it might connect some dots for her and realize that, oh shit, my mother's crazy as shit and she cannot stop lying. And maybe that's why our recycling bill is through the roof, because she swims in wine. She was born in it, molded by it. I would just get this shit out of the way to begin with. But again, reasonable common sense advice, it just totally eludes this fucking neurotic.
I did the right thing. I did everything I could to stand up for myself and the truth.
Heard in Depp's volatile.
Oh yeah, did you? I told the truth and I did everything. And see, I even used to be married to a guy who would just openly give a Roman salute. Can you fucking believe that? This is insane. And remember, I used to be hot.
You issued a statement, and part of the statement said, I still have love for Johnny.
Yes.
Is that still true?
Yes.
Oh, sorry you feel about that. But anyways, yeah, all of my prognostications were pretty much correct. Yeah, no, she definitely just wants the attention of Johnny Depp. This is all this fucking shit is for, okay? She wants to be back with him so fucking bad, and he is so fucking over you. This is almost sad. Only for the fact that you're nuts, and this isn't high school anymore. Fucking get over yourself. He's Johnny Depp after all, and you're a 36-year-old single mother.
After everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love him.
And that's the soundbite for today. I love him. After you literally ruined his world, okay? And then, okay, your retelling of events, which is just fucking amazing. 14 unique instances of domestic violence to where you were beaten within an inch of your fucking life and violated with a cheap whiskey bottle. I love him looking sad. This is the first truthful statement that she said in this entire fucking interview. She still loves Johnny Depp. And what's not to love? This man is a fucking human pincushion punching bag and your emotional fucking tampon. But he has evolved past you, bitch. Your time is over, okay? If you just wouldn't have been so fucking crazy, you would still be Mrs. Depp, okay? And you wouldn't be Mrs. an occasional lesbian. I almost feel bad for her. Almost. But then I realized, how much fuck shit did you do?
I loved him with all my heart. And I tried the best I could to make a deeply broken relationship work. And I couldn't. I have no bad feelings or ill will towards him at all.
Again, a man who horrifically beat you day after day after day. I still love him. I still admire him, and I just want nothing but the best for him. I just really hope that he doesn't, cash in that $8.35 million that I owe him because I can't fucking pay for it without, spreading everything open for him. Like, why would he be so mean and make me pay that judgment? I mean, I've been able to just skirt on my good looks for so long, but now I just can't pull that card anymore, and he just won't even look at me. Why won't he look at me? He would beat me all the time, but that's all you want. That's all you want. You just want a little bit of control. You just want to get your way, but yeah, time is undefeated, and so is that wall. Should have just listened. It would be in so much better of a situation right now.
I know that might be hard to understand, or it might be really easy to understand if
Oh yes, it's very, very easy to understand. I just laid it out.
you've just ever loved anyone. It should be easy.
That was everything I wanted and more. It was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but still. No, Friday evening, it's going to be a fucking belter. And yeah, so what did we learn from that one? Yeah, Amber Heard still believes that a pledge is a donation and she will not take responsibility for anything. She still loves Johnny Depp, and Savannah Guthrie has intermittent good interviewer tactics, okay? And she looked a hell of a lot better in 2014. So yeah, I think that's the last clip that's going to be put out. And if not, I'll cover something on it tomorrow. But with all of that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.